The thing is, if you shine a flashlight onto your shadow, it ceases to be a shadow. You can run as fast as you want away from your shadow, but the faster you run, the faster that shadow's going to follow you. And you can try to chase your shadow, but no matter how fast you go, that shadow's always going to remain a step ahead of you. Our shadow self works exactly the same way. If you start to shine the light of awareness onto your shadow self, it ceases to be a shadow, and then it starts to become your greatest teacher and your greatest ally. In this video, we're going to talk about integrating the shadow self for personal development. This is Adam Bernstein of AdamBetweenTheWorlds.com, and please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and comment down below, I love my shadow. I love my shadow. There's a lot of power in the written word. This really is the true law of attraction secret that nobody really talks about. Either you are consciously creating your reality or your shadow is creating your reality for you. Everyone has shadow aspects. The shadow in and of itself is not a negative thing. It's only a problem when it's hidden and then it starts to mess with our lives. Carl Jung talks a lot about shadow work. A lot of people that do law of attraction work, shamans, talk about the shadow. And what it is, it's really just the hidden part of our natures. It's very much linked in with our survival instinct, with our ego. And our egos are basically connected to our individuality or our separateness. In reality, we are whole. We're one with spirit and we're one with each other. But in this earth environment, we're separate beings and we have survival needs. The thing is, though, that we're conditioned and programmed to think a certain way, to believe a certain way, to act a certain way. And as soon as we start to integrate some of our life challenges and mistake that for survival instincts, we start to suppress pain and trauma. The problem is, there is programming. It does make our instinctive natures, parts of it, seem like immoral or wrong. And we suppress it into our subconscious, which is the part of our mind that creates our reality, and then we wind up self-sabotaging. We wind up having negative patterns. We wind up interfering with the good in our own life. We wind up having this big conflict between who we are as spirit versus who we believe we are based on the programming. The shadow kind of runs out of control and rules our lives. The thing to do is to learn how to, again, integrate the shadow, to love your shadow. And once you marry that part of yourself, that can be your greatest strength. That is your survival instincts. That is your power. Let me give you a few examples based upon my own experiences that this might make it clearer for you. Some of my own shadow aspects include having issues in relationships and having challenges with intimacy for a good portion of my life, I might add. My mom was very uncomfortable with things like affection and had discomfort with intimacy and sex. And don't get me wrong, my mom was a great mom, but she did have these issues and she wound up putting these issues into me. So as I got old enough, I would get very fearful and very tentative about relationships. And then when I was in a relationship, or if I had a crush on somebody, I wound up being very obsessive and very needy and very wanting of attention and wanting basically mother's love that I really could not get. I wound up really pushing those away who I had crushes on, basically. And then when I was in relationships, sooner or later my partner would get bored because I had a strong discomfort with talking about my feelings. A big fear and a big block would come up. And again, these are issues that my mom had, and then she passed them on to me. And it's very common that our parents, our grandparents will subconsciously pass their issues on to us and they become our shadows. Another example is that because there's a lot of tension in my household, there's a lot of fighting, a lot of bickering, that I became very, fearful of people basically, and became a people pleaser. And rather than stick up for myself or speak up, I would tend to go quiet because I was very uncomfortable with tension. And the thing is, in life, sometimes you do have to create tensions, you do have to speak up, but for me, it became a fear. It became a shadow issue. And again, that limited my experience in life. It limited my opportunities. It limited my success. Another shadow aspect would be my father tended to be very critical. And again, my dad was a great dad and he wanted the best for me. Then I became afraid of criticism as I got older. I would never put myself in a position where I could be criticized. I would always take the very safe route in life. So I would be basically the big fish in the small pond rather than taking appropriate risks to further my career, to further my development, and so forth and so on. So there's others, but those are a few examples. But because I've been doing a lot of spiritual work, I've been doing a lot of meditation, I've been doing a lot of shadow work, I've been doing a lot of self-improvement work, I'd say at least 80, if not 95% have worked through these shadows already. And I'm getting stronger and getting more powerful every day. The shadows rob us of our power and rob us of our experience. But we're here in these bodies, we're here in this lifetime to experience, we're here to grow. And God or Spirit wants us to be happy, wants us to grow, wants us to experience the good things in life. But sometimes our shadows just simply get in the way. So stop chasing your shadow. Stop running from your shadow and instead shine your light of awareness. Where's my flashlight? Shine your light of awareness onto your shadow and it ceases to become a shadow. It becomes integrated into your entire being. That is the idea. Integrate the shadow. That is the true law of attraction, because either you are consciously creating a reality or the hidden parts of yourself, the parts suppressed in your subconscious, the suppressed pain, the suppressed traumas, the programming, is creating your reality for you, and chances are you're not real happy about it. What to do about it? Well, the first step is to start to meditate. And by the way, if you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the little bell icon. That way you get notified when I do my free live events. And give this video a thumbs up, share with friends, and comment for me. And let's keep the conversation going. Step number 1 is to meditate. And to develop a meditation practice, learn how to become the observer rather than the participant of your thoughts. The next thing, which is a very related practice, is to start to do presence and start to develop presence. And I do have a video right over here that you can watch after this one that'll give you a lot more insight into meditation and presence. And the third step is to practice long, deep breathing. So 3 minutes at a time, just feeling the light of the love of the universe around you. Inhale that light, and as you inhale that light deep within you, it sheds light on the shadow. Then when you exhale, you can release any negative aspects or whatever behaviors or patterns those shadows have caused in your life. So do that 2, 3, maybe 4 times a day. And another thing that you can do is a daily process. And what you want to do is firstly, get relaxed and give your shadow thanks for teaching you. And what you really want to do is love and embrace your shadow. So relax, thank your shadow, and start to visualize your shadow self kind of stepping outside of yourself. And as you do that, see the shadow as you, but with the face kind of hidden and kind of dark. And then as that's happening, what you do next is you feel your heart open and expand. And with that opening and expanding, you shine a brilliant gold light. Now, when you start to activate your heart, that's a very powerful energy center that affects the vibrations in your entire body and changes everything, what you create and your health for that matter. So if you do this every day and you start to activate your heart center, that's going to help you with everything in life. So you activate, you feel your heart open, shine a golden light onto your shadow, and see your shadow illuminated in that golden light. Start to imagine that golden light surrounds you in your shadow, and you start to become one in that light. And then the next thing is just feel yourself connecting with this shadow, giving the shadow, which isn't a shadow anymore, right? Because it's illuminated. So give that part of yourself a great big hug and integrate that back into your heart. And that is what I have for you today. So practice these things, develop it, and your life, your intuition's going to get stronger, your mediumship's going to get better, your true law of attraction work is going to get more powerful, and your life is going to really, really start to get better, and you're going to start to learn a lot more about yourself. And by learning more about yourself, you learn more about other people and the ways of the world. So that's what I have for you today. Aloha and namaste, and we'll see you at the next video.